Alright, I'm going to start off with this video giving you a cautionary that this video is not going to be for the faint of heart. If you fear easily, then this is not for you. It's only going to be the truth and truth only, source truth, and a lot of it is just my thoughts on it. So I will pause it for 30 seconds, and if you're not interested in hearing some things, then I suggest you just click off. Alright, so hopefully you're still here for those that are strong and brave. And again, this can be a controversial topic. It's about the solar eclipse, what took place, what I've seen, what I've thought was supposed to happen. Again, these are just my thoughts. So, how did you experience the solar eclipse? That's the title. Your thoughts on it. Now, I'll just get right into it. It didn't turn out what I thought. That's for sure. Or did it? So, the strange things about this, excuse me, is this is the first time that they promoted it, like the system, matrix system, the news, all that stuff, promoted it like it was some big Super Bowl. And that's never happened before. That's the ironic thing. I mean, they even had closed schools for kids, stay home. They had states of emergency here in Canada, Niagara Falls even. They had it there. Not sure where else they had it. But, like, they promoted the heck out of this thing like no other time. A little weird. So, I'll start off by saying this eclipse is a very rare one. And basically, it was supposed to be like one like 26,000 years ago, which, for those that know, is the 3 days of darkness. Now, what's odd about that is they pushed and pushed everybody to go outside and stare at it. Well, not that this is about a religious thing, because it's not. Some of the things in the Bible is like a Trojan horse. You have to depict fiction from facts. This is not a religious thing. This is a matrix thing. So every 26,000 years, there's a harvest. Now, a good movie to fill in the blanks is Jupiter Ascending. How they harvest souls' energy with fear, with anger, with low vibrational things, with low frequency things. Low frequency things. We've already been through that, so anybody that hasn't watched these videos should go back and watch them, so you'll know which one's low frequency. And again, you know, for some it's controversial. I'm just telling you what I know and experienced. So every 26,000 years there's a 3 days of darkness called the harvest, and they harvest people's energies for those that were blind in this matrix. Souls now, only souls. Non-souls, we've already talked about that as well. It's just a vessel. But what's interesting is they told you to go out and stare at it. According to the rules of the 3 days of darkness, if you're caught outside, you're done. You're gone. in the biblical sense, but we're not talking about religion. We're talking about, it's in the Bible, yes. The prophecy was, if you were caught outside, you were done. If you even looked outside, you were done. And here they're promoting you to go out and look directly to it. Ooh, that makes sense. Of course it does. As many as they could have gotten out there means less on this planet, right? No conspiracy theory, I don't know, controversy, possibly factual, I don't know. I'm just giving you my thoughts, my experiences, what I've heard, what I've been going through. So what does that mean, the harvest? Well, anybody with a low frequency of a certain level in the matrix, you had to achieve a certain level. Otherwise you couldn't continue forward. For those that go there and cause trouble, and I see all the time spray painting the walls and complete nonsense. Like, not your ability to do that, but I'm not here to judge. I'm just saying, from my visual, garbage all over the place. Nobody cares anymore. It's kind of like, again, a biblical term, the seventh trumpet. When the wars start, when earthquakes start, the floods, the fighting in the streets, end times, that type of thing, and like in movies, the apocalypse, if you will. So it almost looked like, and this was a special one, keep that in mind, every 26,000 years. The Egyptian let off that one as a plague or something to create whatever. I don't want to get too deep into it, but so, of course, I locked everything up, made sure we're in the house, made sure everything was, windows were closed off really good. Some had cardboard put on so that no light or darkness could appear. Because in the Vedic, they don't want you going outside and staring at this thing because it screws up your whole system. And I follow Vedic, not to a T, but a lot of times I listen to what they have to say, their medicines. So their theory was not to be outside. And you should have been meditating through this anyway. But driving up to this, I could feel this energy all day. It was like almost like an anxiety a little bit, but a little fear, and just small amount. Not looking forward to any soul family to, get removed, because that's not what I want. But unfortunately, there's a lot of people that just not gonna get it. They don't want to get it. They want to do what they want to do. They want to eat what they want to eat. They want to drink what they want to drink, and that's fine. It's your experience. You came here with your script intact. I'm going to play out the way you wanted to play it out. No problem. But, again, you'll be exempted from future games, and I don't want that for souls. Now, this whole topic, could really throw people off or dislike what I have to say, but that's fine, because it's only for the truth that people are looking for. Because all that little inkling in your life that something's wrong here, something's wrong, there's something I'm missing, what is it? Well, I'm trying to fill in the blanks for you. Not to trying to instill fear in you. I'm not trying to misdirect you. I'm clearly just here to tell my experience in the Matrix as a source player. That's it. Because it would be selfish for me to keep it to myself. Once I was taught, once I lived the journey, once I walked the path, what kind of soul would I be not to help others? Well, not a very good one, if that's the case. And I don't want to be selfish and keep all the information. So here we are. Now, getting back to what I was saying. So, again, all over online, there was all kinds of theories and people with their video cameras. All out there staring at this thing. I mean, no clue. You know, some saying, no, take your glasses off and stare at it. This is an enlightening thing. I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of people saying, you know, health officials saying if your eyes are red, come to a doctor immediately, you know, that kind of stuff. And people are feeling sick afterwards because the energy that this got through to the souls, whoa, I felt them. I don't know about you, but I felt them. It was like a whole new level of experience, but at the same time powerful, but at the same time lightness. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but like shedding off old belief systems even more. Like peeling an onion. It's like you got to go through layer after layer after layer in the matrix till you get to the center, the core of source, if you will. So there was that, and then there was, you know, people's videos. Some looked normal, you know, some were like, well, I guess a normal eclipse. However, there was one, and again, controversy, conspiracy, I don't know. They were talking about shooting 3 rockets to the moon, and I'm like, we're all in an illusion, first of all. It may appear to be that way because that's the way they created it in your mind. Your mind. But it's just ironic, you know, and then they're going to turn on CERN and rip the hole in our reality, that kind of thing. So I'm like, why are they trying so hard this time to destroy it? To stop it or something. So that's what it seemed like. So there was a video circulating where the sun was there, the moon came, and all of a sudden this big, huge, giant other sun came in the front and covered them both. Way bigger than both of them. What? What was that? Now, again, you can't trust everything in the Matrix. But, man, it looked legit. Didn't look like doctored up or nothing. But that would make sense. Because, I don't know if it was last year or the year before. Not that we should be going in the past, just so you know. But, for this particular reason I'm saying this, is China came out with a constructed sun, like man-made sun. Now, why in the world would you need to do that? Like, it's powerless. It's got lights, yes, but there's no DNA activation codes in it. And all of a sudden, this big, huge ball of light covers them both. Because this is the last time we're looping. So go understand what I'm trying to say here. In my mind, this is the last time we're looping here. And there's certain entities that don't want this to end because they end. Simple as that. They're finished. The game has been won. The last time we're looping. End of story. There's anything or anybody can do about it. Just enjoy the ride. Enjoy your day the best as you can in your now. Be the best version of yourself. And make this a grand finale. I'm not talking about go partying it up and say who cares, it's the, you know, Y2K end of the world nonsense and ruin your game. No. Opposite. Go within and you'll know what I'm talking about from there on. Once you've removed the low frequencies, then you'll see what I'm talking about. Until then, there's no point in even saying it anymore. Which is, again, another weird thing for me. Like, I'm just talking out here. Like, today, it's not factual that I know for a fact this is what it is. No. I'm just talking to you because I'm just blown away at this whole thing. So, again, it's just my thoughts. Why would they try to stop it? Because, like the movie Jupiter Ascending, they want to harvest. every so many, I don't know if it's every 1,000 years or 26,000 years like the last one. Why would they stop it? They live off of this stuff. They need souls. All right, they need the souls to harvest from because they can't get it from non-souls. That's a fact. There's no power. They're empty shells. No offense to anybody. It's not to hurt anybody. Whoever's watching this is probably the souls because it resonates with them. Somewhere deep, deep, deep inside of you, it's resonating with you, and you're like, So why would they do that? Why would they give up harvesting their ritual, their power that they live on? Why? That's my question. Why? The only thing I can come up with is because they want this new technology to put your subconscious in some type of vessel of their choosing where they can control it and do what they wanted to do. And then guess what? They hijack the souls. That's just my thought. That's why I didn't want anybody to watch this that wasn't ready for. It's just my thought. So, but as far as I know, souls are protected. It's locked in. We're done this last time. Untouchable. That's what I'm told. But I don't know. Is there a way from them to... Well, what I was looking at the other day is this. When a creator of a computer game, I don't care what game, and I'm not going to mention brand names because any game, whoever created that game has a signature lock on it. In other words, you can't just open it up and change the rules of the game. See? Kind of sound familiar, right? You can't change the matrix. You can only change within what you're thinking, how you react, how you respond, how you're explosive, reacting, that type of thing. But you just can't open up somebody else's game because they have their signature lock on it. So in this case, the Matrix has their signature lock that nobody can change. You can warp it, bend it a bit. Maybe you'll get away with it. But they're still watching. Source is still watching. So why be like that anyway? So nobody can touch somebody else's creation. In a game, in a video game. So how would they manage to do that? That's my question. How would they be able to break into the Matrix game with a signature lock? And I say signature, but I mean the seal of the Matrix, the seal of any video game, whatever it is. How would they get away with doing that? That's where I'm stumped. If indeed this was supposed to be a 3 days of harvest, darkness harvest, how did they manage to do that? And why were they creating a sun in the first place? For this? Now again, I don't want to sound like a conspirator, but I'm not trying to be. I'm not trying to mislead anybody. I'm just putting, I'm confused a little bit. Because if the next one is 26,000 years from now, the harvest solar eclipse, that's a long time. That's a long time. So it almost seemed like to me this should have been the one. And then there was videos showing that they were showing the sun, but they could see in the back it was darkness still. So the moon is supposed to bring the darkness in front of the sun. This was backwards in the videos. Again, can't know for sure. I'm just speculating. That's all this video is today. Just questioning it, thinking what are your thoughts on it? A little mind bending. Because if it was supposed to be that and it got hijacked, what does that mean? Now, again, you should be living in your now and not focusing just solely on this and make your brain all into mush. It's just a question. It's just, I'm thinking out loud right now. Because this is the one time I really don't know factually. I'm just speculating and guessing. A little bit confusing. Now, having said all that and put all that to the side, I did feel huge, huge energy shifts and like imbalances, like you're not feeling well, you're tired, you're exhausted, you're this, you're not. Everything's been changed in your system somehow. The way you went about things during the day, I know you know what I'm talking about. You felt this shift, and I was heating up, and I've been heating up for a very long time, like just internally heating up that sometimes my hair stands up on my arms. And that brings me to a point. Some of you might find that I'm speaking slow and this and that. There's a reason for that. Because at one point I had so much energy flowing through me, I would talk about 10 different things in one sentence. And I was speaking too fast. Like, I have this thing on, weekends where I'm just like, all this stuff, when I go for a walk, all this stuff just comes coming out of me. Like, it's just like, so the reason I speak slowly and clearly so the message gets through. I'm not trying to put anybody to sleep or I'm boring or this and that. No. And plus, this thing has a difference in timing from my speaking because I don't know how to fix it. But the message is getting out. There was a time, like especially in the summers, when I am on all fruits. Holy moly! You should it's like going to an auction, and that's not what I want for this channel because I want the message to get through to each and every source player. So that's what I was experiencing anyway. Nausea, even yesterday, like I think yesterday was the last day of it. So it still felt like it was a harvest, a darkness, 3 days of darkness, but at the same time it was light. Really bizarre. This whole thing is really bizarre. So again, the question was it supposed to be? But somehow some of this thing snuck through? I don't know. Your guess is good as mine because I'm confused a little bit, but I'm not going to jump out of my game just to say, oh well, forget it. I'll just go gung ho and do what I want now because they managed to do something. Because I don't know. Did they? I don't know. It's just part of the Matrix game. Because that brought me to the point when I was telling my wife that it felt hijacked, but at the same time, it's like the video game analogy. How would they break into the Matrix coded? It's coded. It's locked. You can't just open it up and do all kinds of things. Then there was other videos about these, when they turn on the CERN thing, these black streaks of things were coming in from the sky. And I mean, you gotta be careful because there was a Project Bluebeam, they call it, or something. I don't know. This is all, forget all that stuff. But I'm just saying, what's out there right now. So you gotta be careful because the Matrix, how do you know that wasn't supposed to be part of the Matrix game script for you to question it and go, oh, well, I guess I'm off the hook because if that didn't take place, I guess I can go back to doing what I want. I wouldn't. Don't count on that because this could be all part of it. Everything was written out in the script before coming here. You accepted it. Your parents were chosen in the script. Your name was chosen in the script. What you were going to do in the Matrix was chosen for you in the script. See, they might be trying to trick the souls right now because they know it's the end game. And plus, it was already written from the beginning of time when we came in here. All written out. It was like, look at it this way. When they decide to make a movie, they decide, well, we're going to start a name. What's the name of the movie? Then they're going to say, who's the actors? Excuse me. Who's going to be the actors in this game? Who's going to be the side actors, the backdrops, the non-souls. Who's going to be the main soul character in this movie? But they don't say it like that, but that's what it is. Watch Mr. Nobody. That's another good one. In the movie I was trying to think of the other day was Pacific Rims. On the last video, I couldn't figure out where they put the two, male and female, together. Some of them were male, yes, but what they wanted you to see was the male and female, and they joined consciousness. That's like your true soulmate. Not twin flames and all that true love stuff. No. Real soulmates, and they connected consciousness together in the machine. Well, that's what it's like, or was like, in the first Matrix. No colors, no smells, no language, none of that stuff. It was all subconscious. And then we came into this one to experience all the goodies. See, people don't even appreciate that. Fully, the color and the beauty, the vast beauty in this Matrix. If you choose to look at that as the beauty instead of the, sometimes I go there and I'm like, it's dirty, toxic from the car fumes, and yes, I used to drive. Didn't like it, never was a big fan of driving, but I gave it all up, all of it. The car, the where I lived, the townhouse, condo, all of it, I gave it up. And I forget where I was going with this, but anyway, I got sidetracked about the movies. Mr. Nobody. Oh yes, the scripts. So you were scripted when you came in here, bottom line. Believe it, don't believe it, it doesn't matter. Because we're approaching a point where it's over. But there's still more steps that we have to go through. We have to, still prove yourself worthy to continue on. So 11 years from that point, the minute the harvest took place, 11 years, the 11 frequency planes, you need to reach all 5 of your internal bodies, which is frequency bodies, excuse me. So you've got your subconscious, your conscious, your physical body, your emotional body, and that one's a tough one to crack, and your fractal self. Well, all but 4 of them are not on a level 11, which is your fractal, which is always on 11, because you came here as perfection. Your fractal self that was put into these avatars with your soul cage. So all 5 of those have to be on a high level frequency 11. Now how do you do that? I've already told you. Lose the low frequency things. Because if you're not at a certain level, again, this might not be for everybody, but I can't help it. I have to rip the band-aid off at some point and tell the truth. If you're not at a level that's required to move on forward, but this is why I'm confused now. I'm talking to souls that maybe even know. Other souls that know this stuff. What is your thoughts on this solar eclipse? Because it would have been a perfect time, because when's the next one? Like this one. We have eclipse, or solar this and solar that, or we have eclipses, sorry. Excuse me. The solar eclipse, this one was a special one. So I don't know what to make of it, but I'm going to continue on my journey just the same. I feel this shift of energy just coming through me even more than I did before. So something was still going through. I don't know. I'm stumped. But like I said, it's not going to stop me in my journey. If it was meant to be that, it will be that. If it's not, it's not. It was just, I thought that was kind of bizarre with that video, showing this whole new huge ball of light covering the both of them. And then you got so many people that have normal videos, and then this one pops up, and then you got another one showing the darkness was behind the sun. When he dimmed down his light on the camera, it showed the darkness was behind the sun now. Okay, so don't go, thinking. I'm just saying it felt like it. It was supposed to be. It felt like it was supposed to be the 3 days of darkness. And somehow they changed that. Again, just my view, my point of view. Don't go crazy and thinking I'm, all liquored up and talking insanity here. It's just, I'm just asking, what's your thoughts? So I think I pretty much covered all I wanted to say with this. Again, just to push the truth, frequency is going to make a difference in your game. Like, why does everybody think they need a certain thing in their system or need to do a certain thing to make them feel better about themselves? Like low frequency things. Why does everybody think they need that something? To make you cool? Because I'll tell you where that's going to get you. Nowhere. Does it make you feel better? Well, how come you can't feel good without it? A substance. Whatever it be, alcohol, drugs, whatever. Why do you need an artificial substance to make you feel good about yourself? Because it doesn't. It just harms you in your game as a soul player. It harms you in your physical body. Because we still have cause and effect. I don't care if it's a dream state. They still put the cause and effect in your avatar, in your subconscious. Go kick a tree. Or go kick a piece of stone. Is it going to hurt? Of course it is. Does that make it that was real? Or did they make it seem like it was real with simulation feelers and all this stuff inside of you? Of course they put that pain in you. Don't get fooled by the two of them. Don't think that I hit a tree or I stumbled my toe or something that hurt, so therefore it must be real here. Don't kid yourself. They put all that in you, in your simulation. Hit your finger with a hammer in construction, it hurts, right? Does that make it real? Or did they make it seem real? Think about that. Don't get fooled. Just because something feels real and alive doesn't mean the game's alive. The game is real. The Matrix game is real in your life. But don't think for a second that you can get away with certain things because they're watching and it's a simulation. The script's been written already. So where do you think, like, some people are heading for the hills? Let me get on that topic. They're heading, there's some people I know, not personally, but on videos that I follow, that are heading for the hills and gonna build this and build that and have their own food, sustain their own food. That's like hiding from your game. That's not accepted. That'll be a forfeit. That you couldn't handle the game and you ran away from it, hiding in a cave or wherever it is, in the mountains, and that's a forfeit. That's a forfeit because you didn't want to partake into the Matrix game that you were given. Same like when you were born. You were put in that country, that city for a reason, because you were supposed to play your game there. But then we somehow, now whether it was scripted or not, I don't know. If it was scripted for you to move somewhere and go there, that's another story. But if you pushed and pushed and pushed, or your parents did it for you, changed your script, now you went into a new city or a new country, and what happened to your script? It couldn't be played now. So now they have to rewrite another one for you, download it into you. But all these little things, make a difference in, you kind of pushed yourself. Like, I'm not going to get into the past, but So these things running away will not benefit you. I went right in the heart of a big city because I love it here. I'm not going to say where, but I love it. But do I appreciate all the cars and all the fumes and, you know, people screaming at each other like maniacs, you know, get out of my way? No, I don't. But I figured instead of running and going, I always dreamed of a log cabin. I've always loved it. I always loved the firewood smell, burning wood. But then we're destroying trees, which with frequencies. Everything here is all one. Everything. This table I'm at, the couch behind me, the tables behind me, the picture, we're all one here. Everything is created in your simulation. So going to hide is not going to help you one bit. Not one bit. Is it going to make you feel better? Of course it will. You're away from the craziness. The city especially. Ugh. But I thought, you know what? I didn't think of that at the time when I moved here. But I fell in love with the culture. And I thought, when I get excited, then I felt my heart just get so excited and my frequency and my energies rose up. That's when I know I created something, because I've always manifested that way. When I wanted something that bad, a car, happened the same thing. The condo, I was living in Niagara Falls at the time. And I had a condo that was just there. If you went in the street and looked over, there was the falls. And you could hear it at nighttime. Oh, my energy went, whew, I gotta have this place. And I did. I ended up living there for a lot of years. I moved for different other reasons, because I love Niagara Falls. It's beautiful. It's small. You know, you had Niagara on the Lake, where it's a beautiful little town too, by some water as well. It was peaceful. You had nice fresh fruits in the summer out there in Niagara on the Lake. If you wanted to go for a nice walk to the falls, you know, it was really, it helped you take your troubles away. There's something about water that just washes that worry away. But on the same token, speaking of water, we're electrical, we're frequency, we're electrical beings. So water and that don't mix together. What do I mean by that? Well, they don't match. You don't put no live wires in the water, because what happens? So when we have showers, we're lowering our frequency a little bit, because everything costs. But we'll get into that. My next video is going to be, are you the driver or the passenger in this matrix? And we'll get into that. So enough ranting for today. I just thought I'd put that out there. What are your thoughts? Not necessarily you have to give them to me, but I'm just saying, in your mind, what are your thoughts? Because that's what was on mine. So with that being said, I will leave it there. And once again, be the greatest version of yourself in the now. Now.